Hi, Dongni.
Hello, teacher.
Okay.
Hi, teacher.
Let's see. Dongni. Okay. Let's see here. So let's do test 2 speaking. Let's go here. Unit 2. Unit 2. Let's go to Unit 2. Unit 2. Okay. Unit 1. Unit 2. Okay, let's talk about the story. Ngoc, what can you see here?
Firstly, I can see a king creature walking to his car.
Okay, Dongni, number 2. What can you see there? Dongni, I can't hear you.
The driver is stay with the king. Is talk with the king about the car. Doesn't go.
Yes, it doesn't go. Ngoc, number 3.
The car is the car is broken.
Number 3,
So,
what are they doing?
number 3. The car is broken.
Okay, they're trying to fix the car. Number 4, Dongni. I can't hear you, Dongni. You have to unmute.
Future Mark. There is a fire. A fireman is talking with the king, and King Richard is think about go in the fire car.
Okay, Ngoc, number 5.
Yeah. The king rides on a fire truck.
Yes, he went on the fire truck. Okay. Let me type it for you. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and I'm going to type it for you here. King Richard. His name is King Richard. Okay. First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the streets. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to the king and points to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going through the streets and he is saying to everyone, he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him. Okay. Dongni, you can go first.
First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him to the street. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, Matrix is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king gets out of the car. A firefighter. It says something to king and points to the fire. The fire.
Fire engine. Engine.
Fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting in the top of the fire engine. He is going to cross the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
No. There we go. Ngoc Han, you try.
First, King Richard have come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the streets. Then, King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now, the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to the king and points to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the final engine. He is going through the streets and he is waving to everyone. They look happy to see him.
Okay. Dong Ni, one more time.
First, King Richard has come to visit a lot of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him toward the street. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, Magic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says worrying, sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is get out of the car. A firefighter is says to something to the king and points to the fire.
To the fire engine.
Fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on the top of the fire engine. He is going towards the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Good. Okay, Ngoc Han.
Yes. First, King Richard have come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the streets. Then, King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not working. Next, a machinist is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now, the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying sometime to the king and on to
No,
the...
not sometime. It's saying something. Something.
A firefighter is saying something to the king and point to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going through the streets and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Okay, now let's see if I can take it away. Dongni, see if you can tell us.
First, King Richard is going to his beautiful car to see everyone to meet everyone in the street with his beautiful car. Next, the driver is very unhappy because the car is don't moving.
It's not moving. It's not moving.
It's not moving. It's not moving. Then there is the make is going is wait is searching cars but don't do it. The king is very unhappy. Peter was there are firefighters.
Dongni, read it again. Dongni, I want you to read it again.
First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are a lot of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him to the street. Then King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. The engine is not moving. It's not working. Next, a match is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is said something to the king and points to the fire exit. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going towards the street and He is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Okay, now you try again, sweetie, okay? Try again. Tell me again.
First, the King Richard is had to go to meet everyone in uh, in his beautiful hair beautiful car to visit in the street. Then King Richard is sitting on the car,
In the car.
but in the car, but the car is doesn't moving. So the driver is talking to him, and he is unhappy. Next, a magician is trying to fix the car, but it's not working. And he is say sorry to the king, and the king is very unhappy. Now the king he is out of the car. There are a firefly is talking to him and point to his fright again.
Fire
Finally,
engine.
the anger. Finally, the king is sitting on the top of the fire engine to mix to toss in the streets and waving to everyone. They all look very happy to miss to see him.
Okay, good. Ngoc, honey, you try.
Yeah. First, King King Rachel come to visit the city. And they are want to see him. He has a beautiful car. To take him cross the street. Then King Ryder is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The driver is unhappy. Next, a mechanic is trying to the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is unhappy. Now, the king is getting out of the car. The firefighter is saying something to the king and to the fire ginger. Finally, the king is finally the king is sitting on the fire. He is going to the street and he is going to everyone. They are they are look happy to see him.
They are happy to see him. Not look happy. They are happy to see him.
They are happy to see him.
Yes, good. Okay, let's move on to the questions here. Okay, let's ask and answer questions here. So we will have Dongni, you can ask the first question. We're going to ask about Mr. Brown's work, okay? Mr. Brown's work. How old?
He
Dongni, how old? Dongni, I can't hear you.
How old Mr. Brown? Yes,
How old is Mr. Brown?
is Mr. Brown.
How old? Ask again. How old?
How old is Mr. Brown?
How old is Mr. Brown? Yes. How old is Mr. Brown? Ngoc Han?
Miss Brown is 37 years old.
Mr. Brown is
37
40. No, it's not a 3. 47 years old. 47 years old. Say it again. Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
Okay, next question.
What job do he
What is Mr. Brown's
job?
What is Mr. Brown's job? Dongni?
Mr. Brown is
Mr.
a
Brown's
manager.
job.
Mr. Brown's job is manager.
Manager. Mr. Brown is a manager. Mr. Brown is a manager. Good. Okay. Dongni, next question.
Where is Mr. Brown work?
Where does Mr. Brown work? Where does Mr. Brown work, Ngoc Han?
Miss Brown work. Miss Brown work is a Miss Brown is a office.
Mr. Brown works.
Work
Mr. Brown works in an office.
Office.
Ngoc Han, next question.
When time Mr. Brown start work?
Ask again.
What time Mr. Brown start work?
What time does Mr. Brown start work? Yes. What time does Mr. Brown start work? Dong Ni? What time does Mr. Brown start work? Dong Ni, I can't hear you.
Mr. Brown is Mr. Brown is working at 8 o'clock.
Mr. Brown starts work. Mr. Brown starts work at 8
o'clock.
o'clock. Okay, Dong Ni, next question. Dong Ni, I can't hear you.
What does Mr. Brown hobby?
Say again.
What does Mr. Brown hobby?
What does? Oh, what is? What is Mr. Brown's hobby? What no, what are these hobbies? What are Mr. Brown's hobbies? Hobbies. What are Mr. Brown's hobbies? And Ngoc Han?
Miss Brown happy artist.
Mr. Brown's hobbies.
Mr. Brown hobby.
Hobbies.
Hobbies. Artist and snowboarding.
Chess and snowboarding. Yes, chess and snowboarding. Okay. Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding. Okay. Now you can ask any question. Dong Ni, ask any question.
How old is Mr. Brown?
Ngoc Han, you must answer. You must listen, Ngoc Han.
Yeah.
Dong Ni, ask her again.
How old is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old. What is Mr. Brown's job?
Ngoc Han, you must answer.
Yes. Miss Brown is 47 years old.
No, listen to the next question, Ngoc Han. You must listen. Dong Ni, ask again.
How old is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
No. Next question, Dongmi. You've asked that one already. What's the next?
What is Mr. Brown's job? Mr. Brown's job.
What is Mr. Brown's job?
Ngoc Han, what is Mr. Brown's job?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
Manager. Manager.
Managers. Where do Mr. Brown work?
Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown work is an orphan.
What times does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown starts work. Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock.
Okay, Ngoc Han, you can ask a question now.
How old is Miss Brown?
Nee, you must answer. How old is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
What is Miss Brown's job?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
Manager.
Where do Mr. Brown work?
Where does, not where do. Where does Mr. Brown work?
Where does Mr. Brown work?
You must answer. Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown work in office.
Next question. What are Ngoc Han, you must ask a question.
What time do Mr. Brown start work?
Dong Ni, you must answer.
Mr. Brown start work at 8 o'clock.
What are Mr. Brown's hobbies?
Mr. Brown hobby are chess and snowboard.
Or chess, not cheese, chess.
Chess.
And snowboarding. And snowboarding. Nee, say it again. And snowboarding. Nee, and snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
Okay. Now
Snowboard.
let's see if you can remember. Now let's ask again. Any question now, okay? Nee, you can ask one question.
Where is Mr. Brown? Where is Mr. Brown work?
Where does
Where does
Mr. Brown work?
work?
Where does Mr. Brown work? Ngoc Han, where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown worked in Mr. Brown worked in an office.
In the office, okay. Next question. Okay, Dong Ni, next question.
Mr. What time does Mr. Brown work?
Ask again, what time? Dong Ni, ask again, what time? Dong Ni, what time? Ask again, Dong Ni, what time? Dong Ni, we can't hear you. You're learning now. You need to concentrate. Ask a question again.
What time does Mr. Brown start work?
Ngoc Han, why aren't you answering? You need to answer, Ngoc Han. You are learning now. Why must I call you all the time?
Yeah.
Okay, next question, Dong Ni. Dong Ni, next question.
What does Mr. Brown's job?
What is Mr. Brown's job?
What is Mr. Brown's job?
Mr. Brown's job is a manager. He's a manager.
Mr. is a manager.
Next question. Dongni, next question.
What does Mr. What does Mr. Brown hobby?
What is Mr. Brown's hobby?
What is Mr. Brown hobby?
Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding. Chess and snowboarding. Okay. How old is Mr. Brown? Dongni? How old is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is 47 years old.
Yes. What are Mr. Brown's hobbies?
Mr. Brown's hobby is chess and
Mr. Brown's
snowboarding.
hobbies are?
Mr. Brown's hobby is are
No,
chess.
not is are. Mr. Brown's hobbies are?
Mr. Brown's hobby is are.
No,
Are
not is. Mr. Brown's hobby are?
Mr. Brown's hobby are chess
Are.
and snow. Are.
Good. Good. Okay, let's go up to this one. How old is Mrs. Peters?
Mr.
Mrs. Peters?
Mr. Beecher is
Mrs. Peters?
Mr. Peter is 30 years old.
33. 33 years old.
33 years old.
Okay. Where does Mrs. Peters work? Where does Mrs. Peters work? Jongni, where does Mrs. Peters work?
Where Mr. Beecher is worked is Mr. Peter Jobs is busy woman.
Businesswoman.
Businesswoman.
Businesswoman. Okay. What time does Mr. Peter start work? Dongni, what time does Mrs. Peter start work?
Mr. Peter has to start work at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay. All right, sweeties, we're going to stop here. You did a good job today. I'm going to see you next time, okay? I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, teacher.